If you happen to view any of my previous teachings, you would gather that I have a fairly willful 2-year-old daughter. She knows what she wants, when she wants it, and how she wants it, and my goodness, she's going to be vocal about it. Now, this past week, I was packing up the minivan with our kids for one of the last days of school. The other 3 kids were buckled, but my Evelyn was having an issue with her shoe. And as she wiggled in her car seat, I watched from my driver's seat the struggle unfolding. That day, she had chosen some rainbow slip-on shoes that, when putting on, beg for a second hand. But she wanted to do it herself. I looked on as she tried to squeeze her little finger under the lip that was caught on her heel and pull it up into place. "Evelyn, I can help you with that," I said. "No, Evelyn's turn." "Okay," and we continued. She kicked around a little bit, growing increasingly more frustrated, pushing and pulling without success. "Evelyn, let Mommy help you with your shoe," I said. "No, Evelyn's turn," she resolutely declared. And on we went. In a final attempt, she twisted her leg up over the other one and tried pressing her heel against her thigh to force the shoe into place. "Evelyn, can I please help you get that shoe on?" I asked. "No, it's Evelyn's turn." Becoming angry, she shoved her foot against the seat in front of her, screamed, ripped the halfway put on shoe off of her foot, and chucked it across the car. How many of you are trying to put on your shoes without God's help? How many of you are struggling with your heels dug into the back of that seat, declaring that it's my turn and I got it? You know, I tried to put my shoes on by myself for 26 years. I was more content to limp around with one shoe on and one exposed foot, bleeding from the brutal terrain, than to ask for help. You see, I believed that asking for help meant that I was weak. I believed that if I asked for help, that I must be lacking something. And I've come to find out that we are all, indeed, lacking something. See, we weren't meant to live our lives on our own. We weren't meant to make decisions on our own. We weren't designed for isolation. We were created with the intent of connection and fellowship with our Heavenly Father. One of my favorite parables is that of the vine dresser. Jesus tells us that He is the vine and that God is the vine dresser. And I want to read this passage, and then I'll help us unpack it. I'm going to read from John 15. This is the English Standard Version, verses 1 through 4. "I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, He takes away. And every branch that does bear fruit, He prunes, that I may bear more fruit. Already you are clean because of the word that I have spoken to you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me." Now, this passage is so rich with insight and direction and encouragement for Christian living. But I want to draw your attention to one particular part, the word abide. This word can mean to remain, to continue, to endure, but perhaps most fitting is to dwell. Verse 3 says, "Abide in me and I in you. Dwell in me and I in you." Verse 4 says, "We cannot bear fruit unless we abide or dwell in Him." So if I want to see fruit in my life, not apples or pears, we're talking about the love, joy, peace, patience, goodness, gentleness, just to name a few. If I want to see those things in my life, I had better be hanging out or dwelling in the presence of my Father. I'd better be reading about Jesus Christ and His life and how He handled situations. I had better be ready and willing to let God prune me. Now that means take away, trimming back, and adjusting some of the things in my life if I want to see and experience the fruit that is so good. in this very moment, God sees you. He knows the battles that you're facing. He knows the decisions that you're weighing in your mind. He's aware of your body, the anxieties that you carry, the hurt that feels heavy on you from the past, the aches and the pains that come with years and years of living. He's heard every word you've ever spoken, and he knows every thought that has ever crossed your mind. He's aware of the trials that keep you up at night. He's aware of the worry that keeps you from sleeping. He is acutely in tune with the betrayals that you have endured, the number of tears that you have cried, and the amount of time that you have spent being angry with someone that has hurt you. He knows how many days, how many months, how many years that you have struggled to overcome an addiction. Are you willing to let the God of the universe, who knit you together in your mother's womb, are you willing to let him help you? Ephesians 3:20 promises that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly more than we can ever ask, ever think, or ever imagine. Can you just let that sink in for just a moment? It's my prayer that today you have an honest conversation with him, that today you would ask him for wisdom and understanding and guidance to navigate your situation. You come to him with an open heart, ready to receive the mercy and the grace that he so freely gives. Because like a loving parent, he is ready and willing to help you get that shoe on. God bless you.